All right. Well, good morning. Mike Mancuso here from the Triangle East Chamber of Commerce. I'm glad you're joining us today on this edition of Connection Point. And we're honored today to have with us the Executive Director of the Johnston County Regional Airport, Phil Lanier. Good morning, Phil. How are you?
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Yeah, it's a little chilly day, but it's a beautiful day here in North Carolina in Johnston
Absolutely.
County. So,
and as you always say, you have a saying that I love on your answering machine. It's a great day in aviation.
it's a great day in aviation, yeah. So it's always a great day in aviation.
I love it. So Phil, first of all, a lot of folks here in Johnston County don't know a lot about our airport and about you. So first, let's talk about you. Tell us a little bit about Phil Lanier.
Well, I grew up here in North Carolina and moved to Raleigh in '98. Went to NC State. Got a degree in construction engineering, but spent a few years in Raleigh and went through the program there at State and had a great time, and was hired on by the Department of Transportation just outside of college. And so I did my rotations through the Department of Transportation. But one of my rotations was the Division of Aviation. They're located at RDU. So I worked there for a couple of years as sort of an intern. You're learning the trade, and really caught the bug of aviation. Got the chance to fly all around North Carolina, from the coast to the mountains. So aviation sort of gets in your blood, and you those that get bitten become a part of the community. And so I guess it's fair to say that I got bitten by the bug.
Wonderful. So
Yeah.
we talked, I've known Phil now for a couple of years, and we've talked about being a pilot. I know that's a dream of yours.
Yeah. So everybody sort of comes into aviation through different avenues. Mine has been airport development. So the running of the airport, the building of the airports, runways, taxiways, landing systems, that sort of thing. But obviously we support the pilots, we support the aircraft. And so I think one of my goals is to sit down one day and plug away at all the book work and then all the flying work to be a pilot. So I look forward to doing that some point in the future. And
Well,
Mike, I know you're a pilot, right? You probably need to brush up on your piloting skills as well, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. I need to get myself recertified and get back in the air for sure. And I've had a couple opportunities to fly out of our airport here, and it's just a wonderful area to do that. And I'm looking forward to, at some point in the future, recertifying as well. Maybe we'll do it together.
We'll do it together.
All right.
Yeah,
So Phil,
and nice enough, I'll say this. I'll go ahead and plug this. We've got a great company, Blue Line Aviation, that's getting ready to build. They are building a flight school, and we can talk a little bit about that. But will be a perfect opportunity for us and anybody else in the listening area here to come to the airport and learn to fly. So.
Yeah. Wonderful. So that's a great lead in. Tell us about the airport. We've got, probably close to 250,000 people living here in Johnston County now. A lot of folks have moved in the last 10 years. And I still get the sense that a lot of folks don't even know that the airport's there and what a great resource we have.
Yeah, that's a great point. Mike, is the airport kind of sits off the road there on Business 70, sort of vital to the community, operational 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. But from the road, sometimes it might be hard to see, or those folks that are flying by might not take a glance to their right or left and see us down there. But we're here for sure, and we're operational and certainly proud of that, and take a lot of pride in our facility and our county. We do have a new sign that's getting ready to come out by 70. We were able to procure a new roadside sign, so hopefully folks will be able to see that and look over certainly when you're flying over, everybody in the sky sees us, but those that are on the road and here in the community riding their bikes or the bus or what have you, sometimes it's not as easily seen.
There you go. So tell us about the airport today. There's a lot that goes on. It's a hub of activity currently. Can you share with us some of the things that happen on a daily basis?
Sure. We are an airport that's certainly in demand in that capacity. We serve business community. We serve the business flying community. We serve the military community. We serve emergency response. We serve recreational flying. So there are a lot of components, a lot of businesses that we serve, and been doing so for many years. I will say this, Mike, we generate over $119 million a year in business revenue from the airport, which is huge. We support over 820 jobs when you look at the primary jobs and then all the ancillary jobs that are connected with the airport and the community. It's over 800 jobs. So generates over $12.5 million in tax revenue for the state and for the local community. So a lot of activity going on down there. A lot of cargo, for example, comes in and out. A lot of medical supplies and samples are flown in and out of the airport. A lot of folks travel in and out of the airport. So like I said, it's a very connected airport and certainly important for our community.
For sure. There's not a time that I don't go by there that there's an interesting aircraft sitting on your in front of the building, and always have to take a stop to see the
Yeah.
small jets and some of the big things. I know just recently, I believe you guys had one of those big heavy lift helicopters out there.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? There's some of these aircraft that they are just purpose built, and in doing so, they look pretty unique, So that is we had a very large helicopter that picks up large pieces of equipment and transports that to different areas. So, sometimes we're a part of that supply line chain. So we get to see some pretty neat and unique aircraft out there at the airport.
For sure. Well, and I think also, the airport itself is home to many aircraft. Do you have an idea how many aircraft are based at the airport currently?
Yeah, we have over 120 based aircraft, and those are aircraft that are here. This is their home base, and we service those aircraft. And there's companies at the airport that service these aircraft. So for a regional airport, 120 based aircraft, that's quite a few. Just to give you an idea, some of those are recreational, some of those are business. We've got Duke Life Flight, for example. They base one or two of their aircraft at the airport. So we're certainly proud of being able to serve that many folks there at the airport.
The other thing I think most people don't understand is, you talked about the jobs at the airport or jobs attached to the airport. You actually have companies that are based at the airport, correct?
Yes. So we have quite a few companies that are based here at the airport. Some are based at the airport. Some come to the airport to do work. For example, Spark Chasers is a great company that they've recently been updating a lot of the aircraft to ADS-B technology, updated, I'll say, different equipment that the FAA is requiring of folks to put in their aircraft. They're upfitting those aircraft, some of the older aircraft. So great company that are serving a sort of a niche market there for folks to update there, but they do a lot of other things too. They put a lot of glass cockpits and such into aircraft to allow folks to fly safer and in a more technically advanced way.
Great. Well, and again, I think that's another hidden gem out there is the capability of the airport to attract more businesses here to the community. So Phil, there's a lot going on at the airport. Can you give us kind of a vision, a picture of what's happening, what's going to be happening in the near future, and then kind of your vision of the airport for our long-term future.
Yeah. Um, well, first of all, we're in a state of growth. We do, as I mentioned, those businesses, just as many folks are coming to the airport saying, "Hey, I'd like to base my aircraft, or I'd like to, fly in and out of the airport." We have just as many folks that on the recreational side as we do the business side that are showing interest in the airport. So we have to look at our development plan. That's what we're doing right now. We're looking at a long-term development plan, business plan to how do we best grow such that we serve both of those markets. And so we're in the process of looking at an airport layout plan and an airport master plan, which are sort of those visionary documents and visionary planning studies that allow us to look out to the 20-year future and to see where we're going. So my vision is to really solidify that. We've reached out to a lot of folks in the community. I've had a few public meetings where we've gotten folks' opinion, and they've put their comments to the airport. So we're collectively looking at all those comments and incorporating outside ideas, and also using airport consultants who this is their job, is to look at airports and how they grow. So we're taking all this information, kind of putting it together, compiling it, and putting it here in Johnston County, and saying, hey, how can we best develop the airport? And so what that looks like is better systems, better instrumentation, more advanced instrumentation to allow folks to get into the airport with lower minimums. It looks like a new access road for the airport, access points for the airport. It looks like better infrastructure, getting our drains right and getting some of our, bringing utilities to the airport, and being able to build some larger facilities to support more businesses and to support more recreational flyers. We're completely maxed out right now. We have all our hangars are taken, and they're being utilized to the fullest. So we're looking at building more facilities. So building facilities safe and making sure that we're building as efficiently as we can.
So I know you got some projects just popping out of the ground out there now. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So right now, one of the ways that we're looking at building is developing public-private partnerships. So we can't do everything ourselves, right? Everybody has to have a team. We all have to work together. So Blue Line Aviation, for example, came to us a couple of years ago and said, "Hey, we'd like to build a facility out here." And so I report to an airport authority. We have an airport authority that sort of helps. They work with myself, and we all work together to decide how do we move forward. And in this case, we decided, hey, Blue Line is how can we help them? So we did those things I mentioned to you before, the utilities and getting the site work and getting everything ready. And Blue Line has come in, and now they're building a facility here at the airport that they'll own and operate, and they'll have their aircraft here. They'll have their instructor pilots here, their support staff here, their administrative staff here, and that's just it's a gem, and it's something that we're very proud of, is to be able to support businesses like that. And so Trey Walters, he's the CEO of Blue Line, and they're about halfway through the project right now, but they partnered with a company called Bobbitt to do the design build work. And so what you see out there now is a facility that it's a 3-story complex, large hangar facilities attached to it. And folks will really, it'll be a great place for folks to come learn to fly. And Blue Line is certainly in a growth state of mind right now. So we're proud to partner with them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to drive by the airport. If anybody gets a chance, A lot going on. We have a beautiful terminal there. You've just expanded the parking lots, and it really is. It's coming into its own for sure. Any
Yeah,
other things you want to tell us about yourself or the airport?
well, I would lead into what you just said, folks. It's a public airport, and if anybody's listening that hasn't come to our airport and visited, come on by. There's a top-notch terminal facility. It's beautiful, and a lot of times it's the first thing people see when they come to Johnston County or they come to North Carolina. We've had some folks flying. It's their first steps into North Carolina. So we certainly take pride in our facilities. So anybody that hadn't visited, we certainly invite them to come out, Mike, and say hey, drink a cup of coffee, and watch some planes take off and land. So,
yep, absolutely. Yeah. One of the favorite things I like to do, and hopefully in the coming year here, we'll maybe get Skyfest back on the ground in 2021.
Yes. Hopefully 2021's it's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Phil, thank you so much for being with us today, sharing a little bit about the airport. If everybody gets a chance, take a ride out. It's a great Saturday drive. Go out and check out the airport, check out the beautiful terminal, and just sit down and watch the airplanes as they circle around. It's a great experience, especially for the kids. So.
Indeed. Yep. Thank you. And like I say, come visit us. We've got a great team out there, and Lauren, Helen, and Zach and Tiffany will all say hey to you. So come on by.
All right. Thanks for being with us today, Phil. And folks, thanks for joining us.